All right, I got it. Why does everything I love wind up being a fucking scam?
Uh, I'll bite. Why, Sasha?
Well, everybody, I've been very hype about this Blobfest. I promote the fuck out of it. You know how much money I make off of it? Not a dollar one. Because I love horror movies. I love retro. You can get me a little 50s pinup dress. I will do that shit all day. And I'll do it for free. So this year and last year, I participated in Blobfest, aka the Colonial Theatre, out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania's Miss Blobfest Universe pageant. And I don't want anybody to think that this is one of these things where I'm just pissed because I didn't win. No, there was some good competition. We had very few, emphasis on this, very few public competitors, which gives you a pause when I phrase it that way, because this is a contest that not only says that it's for a public title, mind you, you get to be Miss Blobfest, you get to judge the contest for next year, and on top of that, you get to judge not only the costume contest during the year that you've won, you get special seating, blah 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 blah. Just it's nice and it's a title and it's of the horror and retro community, which right up my alley because it's just how I roll. And I want to emphasize, I don't know if I've said it enough, but the word public. Did I say public enough? Did I make public pretty much broad and a big enough statement there, Lumser? Public, public, public.
As a matter of fact, I'll search my sound archives to see if I have the word public in there.
Yeah, public.
I public.
Public, not cubic for my OnlyFans
Public.
listeners, but public. But anyways, for the contest, they clearly let you know in the rules and regulations that, hey, anything that you submit, any photos that are taken, anything of that nature, not only is going to be used, be it video, photos, etc., during the event, as well as your pageant entry, it's going to be used to help advertise and promote future events in the theaters. All good and grand, because you're basically participating in a public event for a public title. Again, public, public, public. Why do I keep saying that word? Well, lo and behold, today, because I'm all about fair sportsmanlike conduct, you know, I knew for a fact, 'cause I got the letter saying, hey, you're not a finalist this year, really great entry, blah, 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 which I get every year, and I'm used to it. That's fine. I'm sorry I don't sit in front of a camera bored stiff and, yeah, this is my life, and da 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 da. I'm not built that way. I've got to tell a story. When I make something, I tell a story. I involve you in
Yeah,
the story. Even when we're podcasting, we're having fun, we're drinking.
right. Well,
But
we'll say that. Say this. To each their own, though. That to you to tell a story is your choice.
right, but it's better than sitting in front of a camera going, "This is my dog, and this is my life, and pity me, pity me." Anyway, again, there was some good competitors this year. Like you had Doctor Divine, like her stance or their stance, I should say. I never really got the full logo on their pronouns or preferences. They're an actual doctor. So they weren't competing for Miss Blobfest or Mixed Blobfest. They were competing for Dr. Blobfest, which when I went through is the only person who ever went for Dr. Blobfest and tried to change the title. Then you had Jenny Kopcho. Very dramatic, has a very great stage presence, told a story. Amy Vampy from Dark Ride Dracula. Sorry, I got to plug these people because they're good competitors. They're great people. Amy Vampy, great video, has always great content. If you're not watching Dark Ride Dracula, you're fucking up. And then on top of that, you had, Miss Lisa Gary. She's a third year competitor. This should have been her year. Losing to any one of those four would have been perfectly acceptable. But here's the problem. There was only 5 public contestants. Emphasis on that word, public.
Public.
So I found out, because you know me, I sometimes like to put that little sleuthing magnifying glass up to my eye and go, let's look into
Hold on a
this.
sec, folks. I will put. If you heard the drinking game, I will add a little audio clip. I will do some editing.
Okay.
The drinking game will continue to close in Sasha in this. At the start of this, on the audio side, I have started a drinking game. Every time Sasha says the word public, take a drink.
So
continue.
There were 5 of us in the competition for this year that were
the public.
And the thing of it is that it's a public title. You know, you're going to be on stage, you're going to be presented the award, you're going to be there with other finalists, yada yada yada. So not only are you going to be on stage, you're going to be advertised on the website, everything else. So through my deductive reasoning and having a few inside bits of information, I knew that 4 of us at least confirmed that we got letters saying that, sorry, you're not a finalist, good luck. So 4 from 5 is 1, right? That's the last time I checked the math.
Right.
So I had assumed, I'm like, all right, it's Lisa's year. She's done this for 3 years straight. She's kicked ass. She's taken
besides yourself out of the equation, did the other 3 folks post up that they got the "you're not a finalist"?
Yes.
Okay,
in some
that's
form
what I want to know.
or another.
The other 3 people posted up.
They either commented on one of my posts because I was conjecturing theories, or
so they posted it,
or they had it on other sites, but only in different ways that you could find it.
So there were other public posts from the other competitors saying, "Hey, we got this message from Blobfest that we're not the winner, or we're not in the final one."
Now, Jenny did get finalists. I will give credit where credit's due. They gave one of the public entries a finalist honorific, and I think that was just, let's throw them a bone so they shut up. So anyways, I posted to congratulate Lisa because she was the last one remaining. Amy had a Facebook post. Dr. Divine did a story on her Instagram where it basically confirmed they weren't getting Dr. Blobfest. Jenny, when I was saying, hey, Jenny's my bet for Miss Blobfest, if I had to choose between Jenny and, at the time, Dr. Levine, I was like, you know, Jenny definitely has my vote. And then Jenny pops up and says, interesting, this was on Instagram, but I got a letter saying I was a finalist, but I'm not a winner. And I'm like, And so I went ahead and posted, well, congratulations, Lisa, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, I saw those posts on at least Facebook, then I saw it on Instagram.
Lisa responds to my Facebook post and says, no, I got a letter saying I was not a finalist too. So that's 5 of 5 public posts, people who posted for the Miss Blobfest competition, and that would leave 0. And I was kind of stumped. And then all of a sudden, shocker.
So you had 5 people, maybe one of which said, I'm just a finalist, I'm not the winner.
Exactly. And everybody else said they weren't a winner. And so I'm sitting here
why would that one person say that they're a finalist but not a winner?
Oh,
that would cause.
They managed to get an email that had 3 attachments to it. Basically her name and then the 3 other finalists. And then a Heidi was referenced as the winner. Now, if you do a quick YouTube search right now, quite sure Blobfest and Colonial Theatre's trying to cover their ass right now and making sure Heidi makes her video public. But as of right now, you can't find it. It does not exist.
So let me just say this. As of Sasha's post earlier, Tuesday, June the 27th, because it's 8:00 now. I would say it was maybe about noonish today.
Yep.
Tuesday, June 27th. None of Heidi's posts were public. Everything else was what Sasha made was public, and everything else, only that one person confirmed that she was at least a finalist.
And everybody else said they did not win.
Did not win. Or did not hit finalist status.
Or winner status. So
and 5 out of those 5 people, all 5 had public posts, whether it be on Instagram, and or Facebook, and the usual social media outlets, including TikTok. Correct?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and go ahead.
But here's the funny thing. So I'm sitting here stumped, and I'm like, okay, well, clearly I need to do more research. So I did a search, and it was intriguing because earlier in the afternoon, I had did a search, and a Kate or a cat with a K, Romulad, kind of like the sauce, REMOLDE with the enunciation at the end, popped up briefly. And then that account immediately disappeared. And what was weird was the original posting date said it was submitted the day after the updated, because keep in mind, they changed the deadline. Because initially the deadline was June 12th. You had to have all your entries in by June 12th. And
Yeah, I
then
remember you posting that and said they extended it like a week.
a week. So the day of the end of the deadline, they extended it a week. And I'm like, okay, that seems funny. Why would they wait till the day of?
Even yeah, I agree with you that. Why would they? One, it sounds fishy, and to me, it's like, wait a minute, granted, you have 5. That tells me you expected more than 5, so therefore, you either got a bunch of other emails in that said, "Hey, wait a minute, we want to enter, we're not ready yet," and you're scrambling to extend the deadline to, like, oh, that means
Include them.
somebody's to include them. That's, to me, that would have smelled fishy right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
That
And
means,
I didn't question it because I'm like, well, maybe they just didn't get enough entries, you know? Because when you have
Yeah.
5 people and you decide that you're going to have 4 finalists, I mean, everybody's a finalist. So how's that fair? You know what I mean?
right.
And so that's what kind of tripped me up a little bit. Because I'm like, wait, you know, something here just ain't adding up. You know, I'm adding 1 plus 2 and I'm getting 25, and I'm like, okay, the numbers here aren't jiving. What's up? And before I could research this any further, I get an Instagram message from the folks over at Blobfest in the Colonial Theatre. And boy, oh boy, what a message. Like, it is the wrong thing to say to somebody like me. Because, again, I have been promoting the hell out of this event. I've been talking up my, you know, competition. Even when I knew I wasn't winning, hey, here's the people that could possibly be it. You know, trying to give my predictions and stuff before they show up. You know, just kind of help, you know, each other out. Because, you know, we're all interested in the same things. You know, help a sister out kind of ideology. You know, somebody's crown tips over, you adjust it and fix it. You don't make fun of them. But here I'm getting a message telling me to cease and desist posting about Blobfest. That they kind of imply threatening me with copyright for the use of their logo, even though I'm using it to promote the business and things of that nature. And then say that, well, the winners that actually, you know, aside from Jenny, the other 3 finalists and the winner of Miss Blobfest, whomever this Heidi person, or they may be another finalist, but the winners and the other 3 finalists all came from, keep in mind, not public, but either private videos that were posted to YouTube or unlisted videos that came from YouTube. So
yeah, it would have to be unlisted. That way, meaning they are, in essence, yeah, they're private, but they're unlisted. Meaning, if I listed a video, I could send it to you. I could send it like if let's take Mark Byrne wanted to do needed a scene, and I want to, instead of, because the file is too damn long or too damn large, he needed a spot with a stream. I could film near where I'm at, stream near where I'm at, and say, here, Mark, this is what our stream looks like. This is how you could film it. Yes, there's a train station nearby.
Right. But in this type of
post it up.
Right. But in this type of competition, that wouldn't make sense.
You'd want people to be public to promote what you're doing. And
so you have 3 things here that smell kind of funny. 1, you push back the deadline by a week on the day of the original deadline. 2, none of the public public posters have won anything aside from one person making finalists. You have a suspicious account by the name of Kate Romelade, however you say it, that shows up as posting the day after the deadline was up. Then the date suddenly changes on it, so it looks like it was before, because you can edit the date when you posted a YouTube video, and then it just vanished. And then finally, to make matters worse, you have them admitting that, 3 of the finalists and the winner all came from basically private and unlisted videos. And then to make matters worse, most of the people in the past that have won this competition are locals of Phoenixville, PA, even though they say it's open to anyone, anywhere that can get to Phoenixville, but also are heavy donators to the theater. And as I go back and look over some of the competitors and some of the people that have placed, a lot of them you can't find videos for now. And it just smacks kind of odd. And as I did further research, if you go back to when Dr. Lobo was hosting this, there wasn't a problem. Then all of a sudden...
Don't you mean Mr. Lobo?
Mr. Lobo. And then suddenly Mr. Lobo drops out for whatever reason. His I guess, significant other partner, I'm not sure, I didn't ask for details, still does artwork for the competition and things of that nature. But he's pretty much kind of dipped off to the side of it. He might make an appearance. And it just seems like, why would a horror host leave this? And then they've got to recruit someone all the way out from Baltimore to take over. I mean, there's just a whole lot here that's not adding up. And then here's somebody that has been promoting, talking about this for free. And then you're going to come at me and threaten me with copyright?
That's the thing. I'm sure the other contestants, when they've done their videos, they've put up thumbnails with... Yes. I can't speak for them. They put up thumbnails with the Blobfest logo on it.
Every last one.
They've probably had an end card with the Blobfest logo, or they posted up some sort of... when I do the title cards for the thumbnails for the clips, or when I promote, I use an app on either my phone, it's mostly my tablet, called Meme Generator. And I'm able to customize something for Instagram. If I talk about, when I've done to go something big, meaning someone who has the funds for trademark or a registered trademark, because from what I'm told, getting a registered trademark is $25,000 to do it.
Right.
And that is, on my end, talking about Dungeon in a Box, when I did the unboxings for my channel when I was a subscriber. I'll be happy to do them again. I take a picture of their box with my tablet, and I put up the logo, and it has Dungeon in a Box on it, and what it is, and I'll change it up. I haven't gotten a copyright strike or anything saying, hey, cease and desist in regards to this, because they know damn well it's free freaking promotion, whether I like their crap or not.
Right.
And what you're doing is they want you to post up, or a contestant, whether it's me, you, the bitch down the road, nothing against the other contestants. If they're watching this on
no,
one
they're
platform
all awesome.
or another, they're awesome people. I have no problems with these folks. I have no issues with Mr. Lobo or any, but it could be anybody that when they do a video, they have to mention you're a contestant. Your job is saying I am a contestant of Blobfest for Miss or Mix or Doctor, or if you're, let's say, even me, Mr. Blobfest, that if I'm able to get, that I want to do this, I'm a contestant for it. Therefore, I have to do my due diligence and promote your event in order for you to choose, not just choose me, but get the word out about your event. And to say, to pretty much quote, I'll probably delete this and add in Will Smith's version. Him, pretty much them saying, keep our name out of your fucking mouth,
Exactly.
in a way, says so damn much. Because you speculated on what? Who the winner might be?
Exactly. Just for speculation. Even my post, if you read it verbatim, based on information that we have, barring any other last minute entries that we didn't see, it's all in the verbatim of everything I posted. And then for them to come at me like that?
We're copyright striking. No, it's as I told you in our DM, that's what they can't do that. When you post something up critiquing or saying, hey, I'm a contestant for this, if it's open to the public, and if you're talking about like Blobfest, Colonial, we are talking, we are reviewing, we are critiquing you. We are talking about your establishment. We have full right, VIA, copyright law for fair use to use your images so people know exactly what the fuck we're talking about. I will extend my goal on GoFundMe to hire any copyright lawyer to get things done. I will contact, whether Sasha likes him or not, the quartering himself to raise an army of funds so I could go after Blobfest to do if they choose to try to do anything like that.
But again, this is the biggest takeaway. I don't care that I won or not. In fact, I told you before anything was announced, straight up and up, that I would prefer not to win so I can keep making content and having fun with this thing. And then I find out that not only all the work that I've been put in, but every other public contestant that put their name out there and physically put in the work, all of that gets ignored for something that could potentially be favoritism and an unfair advantage, because we as the public aren't getting to see those entries. I hate to say it, but every Blobfest I've attended, do you know how many times that they showed the finalist videos or that they showed the winner's video? And I've gone a couple of times. Not fucking once. And it just kind of makes you pause and wonder and go, we put in all this work and you draw a crowd and you get people hyped based on our entries and our promotions. And then we find out that you guys are only selecting people that are in or around Phoenixville, that donate heavily to the theater, but yet they don't have a public video for anybody else to view to make commentary on it. And to me, I can kind of see, and I don't know if this is why Mr. Lobo dropped out, but I can see why Mr. Lobo doesn't do it anymore.
Let me put it like this. Though fans on your end might not know this, but folks that might be watching through my end of things will know. I'll say for last year excluded, I couldn't go due to funds, and I got right before it happened, I got fired from my 9 to 5. So it was just a combination of things. I didn't get a chance to go last year, and thankfully I didn't go because it turned out to be a shit show nonetheless. But prior to that, every year since our second anniversary, we went, or at least on my end, the Long Coat Mafia podcast, the internet's most hated mafia-themed geek podcast, went to Otakon. And the history behind that is that prior to starting up the Electric Eye podcast, going on 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, it was back in 2009, with Big Candy. I went to Otakon when it was in Baltimore. I did not feel welcome at that time as a casual fan of anime. I did not feel welcome. I was treated like crap. Folks I knew in the community that I was a part of who went as guests of the show, meaning folks meaning I knew a big podcaster on the level, I would say Mick Manhattan, in regards to views and listens on a weekly basis. I knew him, and I mean that podcaster at the time, and the folks that he rolled with, and one of his members of his podcast went to Otakon as a major cosplay guest to do a panel, and she was treated like shit and everything else. But when I went back in 2017 with a press pass, I felt I was them extending a olive branch to the show, to me. And I went with, open mind and, all right, you're extending a olive branch. Let's do this. Fast forward one pandemic and 4 years, 2017. I was starting to get red flags, like something's not right. I'm not being treated like everybody else. And I know some of you out there are going to say, oh, it's probably the name of the show. No. It wasn't the name of the show. It's the aspect. Guess, again, who has two thumbs and is not an anime podcaster? This motherfucker. The anime podcasters were treated better than me. I mean, like, way better. And what happened in 2021 is you've seen the little baggies with the dice and my business card in it. I took a selfie when I was sitting in that gaming hall saying, hey, for the next hour and a half, I'll be in the gaming hall and I'll be giving away free, these bags of dice. 20 minutes, not even 10 minutes go by, I get one of the volunteer staff comes up and says, the higher ups want you to stop your soliciting. I went, what? Yeah, there's a no soliciting policy. You're forcing people to listen to those who accept it. Accept your little baggies with dice. You're forcing people to listen to your show. Meanwhile, throughout the whole building, there's other cards sitting out for people to take for anime podcasters and places that were willing to buy, that were not in the dealer's room, to buy Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And last year, folks were saying, yeah, it was great walking around the convention dealership floor with a big sign saying, I will step on you for $10. I'm like, those motherfuckers can do that all day, every day for the length of the con and not get thrown their asses out. Why? Because they're anime fans. Yet I'll do something similar. I get, hey, don't do that. Your badge is at risk. Talk about fucking hypocrites. I'm not going back, period. I'd rather go where I'm accepted. But I know it's not the same as you, but it's kind of me understanding where you're coming from in regards to that.
And that's the biggest takeaway. Like, if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, like, my run of money is, I was kind of torn between Amy Vampy, I love her to death, and, Dr. Divine, because those two had a really original stance. And I could definitely see Jenny as kind of like a finalist or a runner-up. And I would have been perfectly fine for that. Hell, I would have been perfectly fine for the pity vote. In fact, I thought it was going to be the pity vote based on what I saw, because only Lisa had remained. And I'm like, well, maybe Lisa's the finalist. Maybe she's the one that won. Because she has ran for 3 years in a row. And to me, it's like, look at those 3 years of work. I've only put in 2. 3 years of consecutive work, and knowing her, she'll probably run again next year. 3 years of work just to be beat out repeatedly by either somebody who's not putting any effort into it or have any love for the craft of horror or retro movies or anything of that nature, or for even making videos in general. But 3 years of getting beat out only to find out that you're being beaten out from even placing, from people who are soliciting unlisted videos. And to me, that's unfair. It just seems like
it is. I'm agreeing with you with that.
It leaves the room open, like, for favoritism, because we don't know if they're buddy-buddy. We don't know what's going on with the judges because we're not actually seeing those entries. And maybe
Even
there's
the
a good reason for not seeing those entries because even we'd have to go, wait, hold up, pause. And then it also leaves it open for unfair advantage, because we don't
even
know
if
what's
it's
going back.
somebody sitting in the chair saying, "Hi, I am John or Jane Doe," and I'm in the running. This is why I think I should be Miss Blobfest or Dr. Blobfest this year. Even though it's not telling a story or doesn't have production value, they're still putting that time in to do that.
Right, and I've
Taking
got
time
nothing
out of
against
their
that.
day. There's nothing wrong with
Because at the
that.
end of
Yeah,
the
you just
day,
said that.
you're competing for a public title.
Not
A
to
public
mention,
title.
you
Why
are
be
also,
private about it? Why be unlisted? You're going to be
and
on
you
stage.
and for any organization that does something like that, then only saying later on, you know what? Fuck all these people that put in the hard work, depending on how you want to look at it, okay? Either through production value or putting all their either hard work, time, effort, and voice into this running to say, you know what? Fuck it. We'll do this thing and we're not going to show who it is. And we'll leave all the questions up for chance. So somebody that no one seen or anything like that, or know nothing about. None of their shit's public. Yet everybody else, oh, we're gonna be getting. I know you probably have a couple of dozen views on your shit. Their stuff,
A
probably depending
couple
on the
of
size.
dozen.
But I don't know. I don't have your metrics on that stuff. So that's if I'm too low in regards to it, I apologize.
Way low.
But depending on the platform or the audience size, I can't speak for the other contestants. It could be several thousand, if not more. Those folks are probably bringing advertisement to them with no pay, for the exception of the hopes of becoming a Blobfest representative in some way.
Exactly.
And not to acknowledge
Exactly.
that, and not to even say, hey, we want to thank these, entrants, and say, have a clip of you, a clip of, the other 5 who promoted us for the past 2-3 months in regards to this.
Or like
And
in
not
Lisa's
even
case,
that's
3
done.
years.
3 years.
Years.
And it's like, we're just going to, not even acknowledge that shit for some mofo that no one really knows. Now, granted, there are folks on YouTube that are big on YouTube that probably you don't know, I don't know, and yet they have millions upon millions of followers. But still, who are these people? Other contestants would like to know, if it's some Jane, or let's use a neutral name, some Joe Blow out of Missouri that's willing to come to Blobfest. We want to know a little bit about Joe. Let them, find out who is this person in. Let the fans follow this person. Maybe if I'm a contestant myself in the running, maybe I want to know who this finalist is, so I can say, hey, congratulations, Joe, on being the finalist.
But here's the thing, and this is the thing that trips me up and hurts me the most about this. With an unlisted video, nobody else can see it except those judges and those people who make the decisions. How do we even know a video exists?
That's a valid point. We don't know. Are these folks, over the past, how long's Blogfest has been around for what? At least 20 years? If not longer?
It's longer than that. Because I think the first one was when I was still in high school. And God, I'm dating myself.
So let's say at least for the time being, at least 20 plus years. That covers everything.
Right.
And even now with the age of TikTok, and there
23.
are some 23 years.
It'd be 24 this year.
So, and with the age of TikTok and big name, I mean, hundreds of millions of followers on fucking TikTok, big TikTokers are a thing. And it'd be nice. It would be a good way to, even Blobfest should have said, hey, our finalist is this YouTuber here and this TikToker here and this, Instagram person here and this Twitter person here, for an example. At least you could say, oh, look at these great people, that might have a big follow. Maybe I could follow those folks. To not have any, so-called presence. I'm not saying these people don't, but as you stated, this is a public event. The public should know who the participants are.
When I made finalists last year, my biggest disappointment was because a lot of people came up and was like, hey, we saw your video. And that was simply because of me marketing it and pushing it. Wouldn't it have been so much cooler for people to go, whoa, we just watched your entry along with the other two girls' entries and the winners. Yo, you got robbed. That'd be so much more meaningful than, oh yeah, we saw it because of your marketing and da 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 da. Because nobody else saw those entries except for those who looked for it and pushed to see it, and of course the judges and past year's winners. And to me, it's just like that's not cool. Like when I went to the stage show, because I've gone in past years, but when I went to the stage show, because being a participant, you start to observe things a little bit differently. 90% of that stage show is just some made up hokey bullshit to kind of fit whatever story or narrative they have for the festival that year. And then you have who won, and that's it. And to me, it's like, take 90% of that stuff away, maybe give it like 50%, kind of MST3K it, which is funny because the MST3K guys are going to be there this year, maybe instead of that, take 50%, do skits in between each video and have fun with that, and then announce your winner. And you're going to have so much more stuff going on. But to me, it's like,
my question,
weird.
My question, I know you, it might be a stupid question, and I know that you spent a lot of money on this. Are you still, but I have to ask it, are you still going?
Oh, yeah. Because here's the thing. I have a very huge Dan Noakes attitude on this. I hate to say it. Despite all this bullshit this year, I'm competing next year. I'm competing the year after. I'm competing however long I have to until I get an acceptance letter, and then I'm going to send it back to you. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm the Princess of Darkness, baby. I don't need a crown to show who the fuck I am.
Let me put it like that. Say this. Let me tell you this. Pennsylvania, because it just takes place in Pennsylvania, correct?
Correct.
Pennsylvania is not a first party state. Let me tell you that right here, right now. I know. It's not a. And folks, if you don't know what that means, it means that like West Virginia is a first party state, which means if I'm at an event, I could have my phone on record and I can record any conversation as long as I'm a part of it. And one person knows that that device is recording or a recording is being done. And atypically, it's the person that's actually recording. Meaning if you, me, and George are sitting, or Al, or sitting around a diner talking, and I'm recording the conversation, it's fine and dandy as long as I know. But if I get up and go, and I don't say, hey, don't forget that's still recording, and I don't hit stop or pause, that conversation from that point on has to be deleted.
Oh, I know.
Because it's illegal. I'm just saying for the folks at home. But I take it, but since it's a public event and a lot of it takes place outside in the public, you are allowed within to record because it's out within your rights to record. So and there's
But see,
nothing that they
and
can.
again, the thing I want to stress, I am not mad here for not placing because, like I said, I even told you what weeks back. I'm like, I hope I don't win. I want to keep competing. I want to keep making weird content and having fun with it because what's the point of a journey? It's the journey, not
We're,
what's at the end of it.
I think all in this, we're just addressing the fact that Blobfest it pulled a dick move in
Yes.
regards to this,
And then they come at me
and
like that. I'm like, who runs your social media? Because it's online, and you know what I do.
and by Joe, when I do the clips, I'm putting Blobfest in the title. Blobfest logo will be in the thumbnail. Blobfest will be in the tags.
I would put the Blobfest and Colonial Theatre logo in there because it's criticism right underneath
It is
free use or fair use.
fair use. And the thing is, if they try to do anything, I will take it up with YouTube. I will take it up with YouTube. If anything, I'll contact Jeremy from the Quarterly and have him. It's like, hey, I'm tiny. I need to get the word out that somebody critiqued this organization in regards to it. Here's the video. They want to take it down. They want to copyright strike me. They think it's a copyright issue in regards to this. What they're everything else. I need help. I only got, if you want to cover in your shows, up to you. I have nothing against Jeremy and the quartering. There are times I disagree with him. You might disagree with him. I don't know if you caught his content before, but still, I'll say this on air. I might disagree with him, but
But here's the
he's
thing,
allowed
and
to.
this is the biggest thing that I want to put out there because a lot of people like to say, "Ooh, Sasha's an egomaniac. Ooh, Sasha's an asshole," and it's like, no, 90% of the time it's because I speak out when I damn well need to, and I'm more angry for people like Doctor Divine, like Doctor Divine,
Right.
fucking. Yes, it was low budget, but you know what? We love low budget schlock. It's great.
Right.
Amy,
It's cheese. We all love cheese unless you're lactose intolerant. But
Amy just has a presence, and so does Jenny and Lisa. Oh my God, how can you do this 3 years in a row? And then to find this out, if she competes next year, mine. Me, I'm doing it because I'm a stubborn asshole. Because that's just how I roll. This is my white whale. I will go total Ahab from hell's heart. I stab at thee.
what if? How about this question? What if next year when you try to do this again, they don't just tell you no, they toss the copyright strike your way,
That's fine.
or if they go down the
Because I'll dispute it and I'll fight it. And I will go next year and the year after, and I will be that constant reminder.
what if they go after your YouTube?
Fuck it. I have everything backed up. I have other channels. Please go after my OnlyFans. And I hate to say it, I have no problem paying. Oh, you're going to go after the poor trans woman? Really? The poor single parent trans woman? Is that really the media presence you want to have?
I know some. The clip will be
Because
up. I
I
know
can
some
play the
people will
pity
say,
card too.
"Oh, play the." It's like, yeah. Some people might say, "Oh, Sasha's playing the victim." It's like, yeah, she only did. My excuse is like, yeah, she only did that because they forced her hand. They wanted to be real dicks, and you know what? She was playing fair, playing by the books, and they had to
They want to fight dirty.
they wanted to be dirty and start saying, "Oh, even though she was a contestant, she's now doing things against copyright." While she was a contestant and playing fair.
And I'll keep a paper trail of it all. Because I hate to say it, there is no conversation. And I hate to say it to all the people who dick picked me online. No, I don't hate to say this. To all the people that dick picked me online, I screen grab. I keep everything.
And do you have a copy of the rules in regards to what can and cannot be used in regards to for contestants?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I have everything. Even that Kate Remoulade video that was up, disappeared, The dates changed on it and then completely disappeared from YouTube. And to me, that's totally sus. Like, how does something go from being a day after the deadline to a day before the deadline? And it's like, and then it just vanishes from existence, erased from history.
From history.
No, or is it time? Erased.
From history.
And that's the thing, because I hate to say, because like I told them with my responses back to them, I'm like, you do know internet time machine's a thing, right? I can go back and see postings that were from months and weeks ago. I can see every time that you've changed and updated your rules and regulations to the contest.
And Internet Archive, it's just not Internet Time Machine. It's also, there's, I think, Internet Archive that people have also used with Twitter. They've
just because you delete it and you erase it doesn't mean if a lawsuit happens, somebody can still pull that up. Google still has access. All the other companies involved still have access.
And Blobfest, if your folks are watching this, keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Keep talking about it.
Because we'll make everything public.
It's in public. Not to mention, Blobfest, guess what? There is such a thing called the Barbra Streisand effect. Look it up.
Oh, it's like,
honestly, look it up.
I literally, as soon as I got those messages, because you know me, because we've had our own issues, not amongst each other. We've been co-conspirators. Call it co-conspirators. Co-conspirators in many things. Need I say a certain Halloween event your way?
Yeah, when I was tossed underneath the bus in regards to that.
And what happened? As soon as I saw you were tossed under the bus, what was the first words out of my mouth? Kids glove on or kids glove off?
Yeah, and I said, I'm not a part of it. Have at it. I think that was roughly my words. Like, I'm not a part of this no more.
Yep, you're not responsible for my actions.
I'm not responsible.
Awesome.
And I think I also said the same thing when back 3 years ago, when the whole instance with a certain individual who got himself arrested again.
Whoa. Okay, I've got to do the math here about that. Somebody got arrested? Wait. Okay, let's save that because we can go back to that. I got a little bit of time tonight because I've got pep. I ain't going to sleep anytime soon. We'll go back to that. But here's the thing. You know, having known me for a while, that when it comes down to it, I'm more hurt for Jenny. First time running. I'm more hurt for Dr. Divine. Like, oh my God, I want to collab with you. You're above my pay grade, but still, I think we could be on the level. We could be cool. Let's hang out. Let's have a few drinks. Let's chat. Let's talk about parenting and life and how it sucks.
And that person that was doing it 3 times, 3 freaking times.
I want to hug her. It's fucking hormones.
3 times. And for them to go, you know what?
Hurt for them.
Instead of this, and
I'm hurt from the year I competed, from the years before I even competed, everybody else that got looked over because of a non-public, unlisted video that nobody else got to see except the judges.
I think that should be in the rules now. Every video has to be public for everybody to see. If you do not have a public video on Instagram, on either or all platforms,
should be on all platforms,
on
at least
Facebook, 3. on at least 1, if not 3 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
Has to be on YouTube. No matter what, it has to be on YouTube.
On YouTube. At least if you're doing anything over that, I know you need a certain amount of subscribers on TikTok to go past like 2 or 3 minutes. But still, if you want to do at least YouTube, that way you could go over 5 minutes if need be. If you want to do a full on skit like you did, and it has to be. And to say, well, no, they were private. No,
I did a two-parter because not only did I want to explain
if the contestants are not just contestants, but they're also advertising your event in the process of with their entries. Every entry has to be public. If it's not public by YouTube standards, meaning it's not copyright claim that it's being pulled, meaning
I don't want
to use an example.
I don't want to hear. Let's say, well, hold on. Let me throw this out here because I heard this excuse today. But everybody's different. Not everybody wants the spotlight or the stage. Not everybody's like us who wants to, compete and put themselves out there. Then don't compete in a fucking public event.
It's not. I'll look at it like this. I don't know about Miss Blobfest. To say something like that, it on my end, granted, it's coming from a
where you have to be on stage.
But it's coming from a born male.
I've done commercials, yes, back when I was a baby, but still, like being on stage is scary because you got the eyes on you.
Hear my point. I'm attributing my closest comparison to Miss Blobfest or whatever title you want to put prior to Blobfest is the equivalent of doing a beauty pageant.
Yeah, Miss America.
You are a public figure, whether you're Miss or whatever, Miss Apple Blossom, Miss West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Miss America, Miss Europe, or whatever. You are a public official. You are on stage. This is a public competition. But no, you're being a part of the public. If this main thing is a public entry, this is not, go out, get a postcard, put your name and address saying, I want to be a contestant for this, and mailing it in. It's not that. This is a public entry where you're doing a video. Everything is supposed to be done for advertising for this event, and your video should be advertised at the event itself saying, hey, this is a finalist. And if you're that person, as an entry person, you're expecting that, and it doesn't happen because your video was, quote unquote, despite what the rules and conditions are, was private, quote unquote, then you should be, done, out. Whether was their video private or public? Private? No. But they're a big YouTuber or TikTok or Instagrammer. Does not matter. Their video was private. This is a public event. The entries have to be public. If that rule is not a part of the baseline rules, it should be.
Exactly. And here's the thing, and sorry to anybody who thinks I was distracted. I was actually posting a multi-part on Twitter with all of the screen grabs plus my video entry. Because here's the thing that cracks me up. And you'll admit to this because you've seen the entire dialogue I had. I sent you everything.
Right.
Until they started sending me canned responses. And I'm like, oh, I've done pissed somebody off. Oh, I've just proven my point. Thank you for the canned response. I posted all of that to Twitter. And I did it in like a 4 or 5 part Twitter feed with everything. And I basically was like, because here's the thing, and you'll admit to this. They kept complimenting me on my enthusiasm. Here's the thing with enthusiasm. I can use it for good, or I can use it to fuck up your day.
And to say, you're a very enthusiastic contestant. By the way, if you leave because if you don't mind me saying it, I think you mentioned what they said, to give a little bit more context. They're pretty much were telling you, because I've seen the post, you're a very enthusiastic contestant. And by the way, take your post down.
Yeah.
Or else we'll copyright your shit.
Yeah.
Then you're admitting that the contestant, you were
not only are you trying to silence me, you're trying to silence me. You're trying to use a very basic understanding of the law against me, and I understand that law.
It's not just that. It's like
A lot better.
It almost has that faint sniff
Sniff,
odor
sniff.
of gaslighting.
Yeah. You're in the
Oh,
wrong.
you don't want to make your stuff public. Oh, maybe next year you should make your stuff private.
And that ain't happening. I'm not private. I'm a very public person. I'm out and about with who I am and what I do. And I feel Miss Blobfest should be too. And if they're private, you got to wonder why they're private.
Right. What do they have to hide? Who do they know?
Me, I'm like, find bad shit. I literally have been introducing to people, and they crack up laughing. Like, we had a new hire at work today. And I'm like, hi, I'm the trans woman the media warned you about. That was my immediate response. And they cracked up laughing.
Yeah, and there are times, I'm sure that there's been once or twice in the past I've told you, Sasha, you got to, step back. Just no, I get
and
what you're doing.
You're like, let it
back.
fly.
But just dude, where's my,
First you were like, you need to breathe because I know you want to kill somebody.
No, that's the whole aspect was okay. Breathe. It was just me going, breathe. Okay, there's a lot to say.
Heart attack 3. Breathe.
It's like I don't need. But my aspect is like, let me grab a bucket with popcorn. I don't want to watch your shit go down. But
I'm curious what my shenanigans has gotten me thus far. Let's go into Facebook.
Like, wait a minute, I got a bag of chips right now. Let me open this up and see what goes down right now while Sasha attacks this,
I've got 3 notifications.
But let me guess. They reported your ass to Twitter.
I could care less. No, Twitter just went up because I had to do, how you can add a tweet to a tweet?
Yeah.
I had to do that 4 times because I wanted to say everything and include every screen grab that I had.
But it's that. And
of course, Al is messaging me like crazy, but I'm like, I'm on a podcast, and he's like, I'll give you hugs and cuddles on Thursday, I promise. He's like, yeah, something seems off with this. The real question is, why hide your fucking entry? And why only vote for people that are private and unlisted? And I'm like, As
someone who has, even though this is mainly Sasha's thing in regards to the podcast of Darkness, and it is Sasha trying to help me overcome, the burnout and everything else on my end, and she's helping being a great friend in regards to this, and she has several Predator videos to take care of and put up and everything else. Sasha, but
are you going to help me with it? Because I would love.
It's been
like,
how long?
Are you going to help me?
It's been maybe. It depends on what it is.
We got to start with pray.
You're asking an agnostic/atheist person to pray.
No, like pray, as in the movie Pray.
Oh, okay. I have to. I don't have access to Hulu anymore. But that's the only thing. I might have to speak to Uncle Tony about that.
No, we can speak to
And now for something completely different. And that is me pretty much interrupting a clip from the video podcast to give you a note, an update, and or an apology. The apology is that, as you can tell, we're already at close to or more than an hour discussing Blobfest. And there is a little bit more to this, but since at this point we've started to wander away from topic, wander back, past this point we wandered away from the topic, we'll wander back to topic for maybe about a minute or two, then wander away, then wander back. Have no fear, the rest of the conversation past this point will be available when the full video podcast becomes available here either on YouTube, Rumble, or various other platforms where that you see this clip. Let me just, and to continue with that, you'll be able to see everything, but you'll see that we just rehash a lot of things we do. We don't really add more to the conversation, but what you see is the bulk of that conversation. And from here on out is just a little bit more of my personal opinion and the updates that have come across my desk since the video was recorded back on Tuesday the 27th. And the updates that came across my desk are from a few other folks and Sasha herself. And those, let me just say this, my opinions will be included here, and some of my opinions will be, or I should say, are included in the audio aspects of things found on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. All those links are in the description down below. The updates is as of yesterday, the 28th, Wednesday, when I was getting ready for my 9 to 5, I got notified by a couple of people that realized that me and Sasha talked about that night before, that Tuesday, about Blobfest and the potential drama that was happening between her and Blobfest. And the screenshots that were sent to me were of Blobfest deleting their Ms. Blobfest Universe competition and seemingly changing a lot of their locations for some of the classic movies that they were showing, meaning Blobfest changed the location of the Colonial Theatre's event, The Wolfman, 1941. Blobfest changed the location of the Colonial Theatre's event, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, etc., etc. And that struck me as a little bit odd as to what's going on. And I told Sasha this. I've got this. It seems a little odd that they're changing locations of what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but it seems a little bit odd. Then, maybe about an hour or so after that, Sasha tells me that it looks like this is her words, that it looks like my show page, or my personality page, my Sasha the Princess of Darkness page on Facebook has been banned or blocked from Facebook, from Blobfest. And no sooner, and she was like, no worries, my main page is, my main Facebook account is still unblocked from Blobfest, which is okay. I could still see what's going on. And not even 5-10 minutes after that, she messaged me saying that, guess what? My main Facebook account, the one that I'm talking to you from right now, is now blocked from Blobfest. Then not even, maybe about an hour after that, she tells me that she just got an email from Blobfest in regards to it. And here it is. I know you probably can't make it out on screen, but I asked her, is it okay for me to read this on air and all that and give updates? And she said yes. And this is from the staff, and we are not urging we do not condone, here at the Long Coat Mafia podcast, do not condone any type of harassment against these folks at Blobfest in any shape or form. We are just, but their email says, and I quote, this is verbatim in regards to how they wrote this. Sasha, due to a vitriol of online harassment and bullying, the Colonial Theatre has decided it is in our best interest to discontinue the... Let me get back to that. Let me reread that because of how it's written. Sasha, due to the vitriol of online harassment and bullying, the Colonial Theatre has decided it is in our best interest to discontinue to the Ms. Blobfest contest. We have received a number of harassment complaints from past and present contestants and winners of both Mix Blobfest and the costume contest, and have no choice but to refund all of your tickets purchased for events inside the theater throughout the course of Blobfest weekend. You can expect the refund to appear within 10 business days. Now, Sasha initially thought that, I think the ticket to the costume contest was included in on that. And she said, I think the costume contest has been canceled. And as of like 2 a.m. last night, the costume contest was still going on, according to Blobfest. And I'm pulling that up right now as we speak. And as of today, Thursday, the 29th, the costume contest is still going on. It has not been canceled. And I thought, because again, I thought like Sasha, the costume contest was canceled, just like the Blobfest. The Ms. Mix Blobfest was canceled and deleted off their Facebook. Do I know if it's still going on? I have no clue. The only way to actually know if it is still going on behind everybody's back, or meaning that they deleted it off of Facebook, they canceled it off of Facebook, and told Sasha, guess what, it's canceled, but yet behind closed doors it's still going on. I nor Sasha actually know. So if any of you out there who are watching this update right now, please let us know in the comment section down below if the Ms. Blobfest or Mix Blobfest went on, and the aspect of everything. We would love to know that aspect. 2. This from here on is pretty much what I addressed to Blobfest if they listened to the audio episode when I posted it earlier this Thursday morning. So whenever this gets posted up to YouTube, again, I'm addressing Blobfest in regards to this. We here at the Long Coat Mafia podcast, the internet's most hated mafia-themed geek podcast, would like to see those screenshots. And I'm not talking a cropped type of screenshot. The full screenshot of these bullying and harassment remarks and complaints. And for those of you out there, because initially I didn't know what vitriol meant. Vitriol. So I had to, like most people, had to look it up. So, other than Sasha's comments and what I stated here in the video and on the audio podcast, I would have loved to, like most people who have watched the Sasha's videos in regards to becoming Mix Blobfest or Ms. Blobfest on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, along with the other 4 candidates, if you will, contestants, candidates, or what have you. We would have loved to meet and see those videos. and questioning who are these contestants? What did they put out? Why were they afraid to make their videos public out there? Where at least 5 people, this is me talking, Sasha and 4 other people putting their stuff, being brave, being bold, putting themselves out there for criticism from this contest. And yet you claim that you're canceling this due to vitriol comments. It says, due to cruel and bitter criticism. One person saying, hey, it's not fair that we don't get a chance to meet these other contestants. One person. If there are other people in regards to this, as you claimed in your email saying this, you should tell us, Blobfest, as a courtesy, who else harassed you. At least tell me who else, besides Sasha, brought up questions in regards to this or criticized you in regards to it's not fair. Who are these people? If they bullied you by saying, let us know or else, as far as I know, Sasha did not say, let us know or else. As far as I know, she didn't say, or else, or give that ultimatum. If she did, I would like to see those DMs. Because, sir, I've seen, I should say, those at Blobfest, I've seen your DMs to Sasha when this whole situation went down. And I see, in regards to it, I know what she says, and I'll say them right here. You say, when she released the aspect or about the person she thought either maybe a finalist or the winner, you wrote to her through Instagram, which was stated in the video and our audio podcast. Hey Sasha, thank you so much for all your enthusiasm surrounding Blobfest and Ms. Blobfest pageant. We truly appreciate your patronage and support. That being said, some of the posts you've made about who won or who is a finalist are incorrect, as not all contestants made their entries public. We ended up with a lot of submissions. Would you mind removing your posts about who's potentially won the contest? We don't want to cause any confusion or give people false hope around a contest that's supposed to be silly and fun. We also don't allow anyone outside the Colonial to use the Blobfest or Colonial logos. You don't threaten like that. We are critiquing you. We're talking about you, as stated in the video and on the podcast, and as stated here. Alright? You don't get to do that. That's how things are done on YouTube. If you don't understand that, if James Rolfe or any YouTuber is at your event, talk to them. They'll be more than happy to tell you about fair use. Sasha responds. I didn't go into this last night because it was late. I was tired. She says, cause there was... her response to your response was, cause there was one from Kat that kept appearing after June 19th deadline, but the date kept changing on it, and then it just vanished from YouTube altogether. It's archivable via the Internet Time Machine and other methods. Any comment on this oddity? Even in the pageant's own rules, it stated the content such as videos, pictures, etc. will be used by the Colonial and Blobfest. Ergo, a private submission would be out of place because it wouldn't be private if it was used for marketing, advertisement, etc. Which you replied, all videos were submitted by the deadline. and there was a broad panel of judges actually to ensure no favoritism was afoot. She responded, were they aware they were unlisted? If so, why is it not specified in the rules? Your reply was, the judges received every video and voted fairly and separately. We do ask you remove any posts with our logos as they are trademarked, and we look forward to seeing you at Blobfest. If you looked forward to seeing Sasha at Blobfest, then why did you refund all her money in regards to this and pretty much told her, you're not welcome here? When she publicly posted these DMs as receipts to what you said. You did not follow your own rules. These videos, if those contestants, per your quote, were participating in a silly fun event and they didn't want their stuff publicly seen in advertisements and so forth and so on, whether it be for this year, 2023, 2024, 2025, etc., etc., etc. Why? Why were they private? Why weren't they notified? Your stuff will be private, will be seen, if they were that worried. It raises a lot of questions. And when Sasha put up these things, you just decided, or I should say, when Sasha publicly put these DMs on Instagram and Twitter and asked, what the hell? You decided it was bullying. It was harassment. It was criticism. And you got scared. Let me put it like this, also as this, to jump back on the topic. When people talk about Coca-Cola and use the logo, or let's take the most recent controversy out there, the Bud Light controversy. When people use those images on Twitter for thumbnails or YouTube, etc. for thumbnails, Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch or InBev does not come after the YouTuber or the user of an account, or meaning if I make a thumbnail for a YouTube video talking about Bud Light and I put it up on Instagram to help promote the video, InBev, Anheuser-Busch, does not come after me saying, well, we trademarked this and you better take their shit down. They realize that it is within fair use because I've inserted my show's logo in regards to it, and they realize that here in the States it is legal to talk about somebody. Yes, you could block me. Yes, you could ban me from coming to your event that I would have to buy tickets to. That's the consequence. Fair enough. That won't stop me from talking about it. I am allowed to talk about it. I'm allowed to report on it. Am I a journalist? Not in any way, shape, or form. But some people have stated that YouTubers are a form of journalists. Just very amateur, and we're not really professional because we do not get really paid to do that. But since we have a camera on some of these devices known as smartphones, and they do have a microphone and we can get audio, we in a way are quasi-journalists. And some can say we fall under the aspect of free press. But as me speaking, away from Sasha, the Princess of Darkness, if she said something outside of what was shared to me through Facebook and everything else, and what I've seen on Twitter, on Facebook, here on YouTube, and on Instagram, you have that right to prove that she's doing worse than what I know of. Show me those DMs. Show me the full screenshots of, like it's here, that shows the full screen. I don't want to see them. I want to see who else is doing this. Because if you don't prove that to me, as far as I know, you're lying. You targeted, as you could say, as much as you could say that Sasha harassed, bullied, to quote your email, in a way, because Sasha put up a number of posts, critiquing you and asking you what the hell. And Sasha was the only one to kind of, according to you, harass, to put up a bunch of harassment complaints and described what she said in a way, because this post was very neutral, say that it was a bunch of vitriol, bitter and harsh criticism and online harassment and bullying. So's this. So's what you did. You did online harassment and bullying by doing this. By banning somebody is bullying. You didn't say, Sasha, you didn't DM Sasha saying, hey, what we think is you're doing is harassment and bullying. Please stop. If you stop, we will be forced to refund you tickets and ask you not to be here. Because you did not. You chose the fuck you approach. And thus, since you haven't proven to me in regards to it so far as of this, though I am welcoming you to prove to me that it's more than just Sasha. If it's more just Sasha, I will remove myself from the equation and I'll allow you to play fuck around and find out with Sasha, if she so chooses to do that. Because whatever she chooses to decide in regards to what comes forward in regards to evidence, whether I will share that evidence with Sasha or not is my choice. But I want you to prove to me that, well, either she's the only one or she's been saying more behind the scenes than I know of, and or there's other people in this. I need to prove it. I need you to prove it. My DMs are open. As you've probably seen by this posting and other postings, you have been tagged. Therefore, if you blatantly strike this video or come after me in regards to, we want you to take this down, I will respond. I need you to listen to the audio podcast in its entirety, including my update, and take me up on the offer. If you do not do that, everything will remain up. So, I'm sorry I took all of you who are watching this. I know it's been over 25 minutes, and I've taken a bunch of your time already with this whole fiasco and drama. So, this is my video. This is my opinion. Sasha, I'm sorry that I know you gave me permission to read the email. I didn't mean to read the DMs between you and Blobfest out loud. I know you didn't give me that permission, but you did post those DMs up on Instagram and Twitter, and thus making them public for everybody. And for those of you who listened to our audio program and heard me pop in right before the segment on Blobfest and say, hey, let's do a drinking game in regards to the number of times Sasha and I say the word public. It was meant as fun. For our listeners, we want to know about what's going on and wish to have some fun in a safe manner. We're aware, though it was a serious topic, we were very aware of what's being said, and we just wanted our listeners to have some fun, what few there were. So again, I'm the Reverend Godfather, aka the Martinsburg Madman. All the links to our audio descriptions, or say audio podcast, are in the description down below. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that subscribe button, that like button, leaving a comment down below, which we always welcome you to do so. But if you want to toss a couple of bucks our way, you can do so. The GoFundMe link is down below. Our Patreon link is down below. And if you want to support my friend and everything else in regard and past co-host Big Candy, his Teespring link is, or his t-shirt where you can buy his merch, is in the description down below. And everything else, I'm out. Later.